Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Whiteboard Wednesdays with Vanna. And we're continuing our discussion where we left off regarding digital twins. And if you had a watch of the previous episode and the video associated with that, regarding the way in which NVIDIA envisages the actual creation of a digital twin and applying that within your data center, I'm sure you'll agree that it is quite exciting. So, what we're going to be doing in the following two episodes is we're going to be looking at the 5 steps into getting started with digital twins. And perhaps what we want to do is just recap a little bit for those who are maybe new to this channel and maybe want to have a look at this, what a digital twin actually is all about. Well, we have a physical representation of an environment. This can be a 3-dimensional environment, it can be a 2-dimensional environment, and pretty much anything that provides us with data on how it operates, we can actually turn into a digital twin. Now, this digital twin is a virtual representation that is a one-to-one exact match of that physical environment. So, for instance, it could be that data center that you saw in that previous video. It could be a production environment like in a factory. It could be an energy plant. It could be a warehouse. It could be so many different things in which digital twins can be applied. But the key thing and why it's so important is it allows us to really start working with modeling and using a ground source of data or a single source of data to start doing very, very interesting questions or asking questions around those environments. So what if we want to optimize a process when it comes to a factory layout? What if we want to kind of train and model an environment to kind of see what the effects of physics would be within this? Well, then our engineers can actually create a a digital representation of this environment and then start using machine learning and artificial intelligence to bring all of these physical forces to play on that environment. So this is really, really powerful things that we can do. And therefore, we're looking forward into the future. And this 3-dimensional representation of environments and of processes and of manufacturing sites and engineering sites in your data center, these 3-dimensional environments are really going to become a way in which we monitor and activate this world and train our people on it and actually utilizing certain things. So some people refer to this as the metaverse, and within the NVIDIA kind of realm of things, there is a tool set called the Omniverse. And with this tool set and a few other periphery tools that you'll need, bringing in the engineering elements, bringing in the design elements, so like CAD, your engineering flow tool sets, all of these things start working together to effectively generate this digital environment that is a one-to-one replica of that physical step or physical environment. So let's get to the steps then. So we're going to look at the first 2 steps. The first one that we want to be doing is basically identify, right, your use case. This is really saying, what is the purpose of doing a digital twin? Maybe even better way is asking, what question or what problem do we want to address by creating a digital twin? We don't want to, you can go and create one for, playing sake, but it's quite an endeavor to put all this together. So really, when we start doing this in terms of business, we really want to ask our question, why are we doing this? What are we trying to solve in having a digital twin? Because it's going to take quite a bit of effort and bringing multiple skills together, very diverse sets of skills, and orchestrating them to deliver this whole area. So when it comes to this, you want to ask those questions. You want to go to pick something that is maybe not the biggest problem right now. You might have a very big vision, but really sometimes when you start out too big, it might be a bit of a issue. So what you really want to do is find that question and then also look and see if this problem is somewhere repeated, so that when you actually have success with your digital twin environment, you can replicate that whole process and spread the success out into broader areas of your organization. So really spending time in analyzing that use case and what the application for that would be and what the benefit of that would be is really a key starting point. And that's the cornerstone for us when we're discussing digital twins and the way to go about doing this. The second one is really extremely, extremely crucial, and that is deciding on the data or getting a data strategy in place. Your data strategy is really, really crucial, because every single digital twin relies and is only as good as the data you can harness from that physical representation, right? So you're going to be utilizing different sources of data. You might be using stuff from CAD, you might be using photogrammetry, you might be using cloud scale points, depending on what you're working with. You're going to be pulling in sensor data, maybe using IoT devices to stream that data back. So there's quite a lot of telemetry, and also the underlying technologies that you need to effectively, bring all of that data into an area that you can utilize this. So once you've defined your use case, you obviously need to then understand the data that's related to that use case, and making sure that you can effectively wrangle that data in the way that you need to apply it into your 3D or digital twin environment. So this might mean that you might have people with skill sets in CAD, you might have people with skill sets in 3D animation, you might have people in skill sets, obviously, in some form of engineering or data analytics. And then obviously you need your DevOps and IT guys. And in the next episode, we're going to definitely be delving into what that team looks like, the people that you need to bring together, and also the scale in which you want to work with this. And then we're going to be addressing the last points. So the first two, just to recap, we really want to, bring that home, is identify the use case, and secondly, really have a good data strategy on how you're going to provide that data back to the digital twin. So thank you very much for joining us today. Please remember to come and get the next 3 steps in our following episode, and really looking forward to seeing you guys. Cheers. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow our LinkedIn page.